Cool. So we're recording now. So we'll plan. I want to definitely like say hi, but I just want to establish we'll plan to make this public. If anything gets said that you think shouldn't be public, then let me know right then so we can stop and start a new recording. But
Okay.
if we don't do that, we'll just assume the whole thing can be public. Sound good?
Okay.
Awesome. Cool,
Good.
bro. So great to be with you, God. It's been so long. I really appreciate that we're connecting, and I appreciate your patience with, how long this has been going on in terms of you and I scheduling a time to show you the system and show you what I've been building. I'm glad, that we're doing it because it's been a long road for me, as you know, for these weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been day after day, just hour after hour programming and being in that programming mode. It's not an easy thing to do, for me, especially when I'm, being so different for so many months at a time.
Yeah.
I have to rewire my brain, and it's tough to go back and forth. That's the thing,
Yeah.
it's tough to be out in the world and dealing with people and then going home at night and coding. It's more of like in these chunks of weeks at a time. Like now I have a functional system, that we can show the world and we can use and everything. So I'm super excited to have you be, one of the first people to see it. And, it's still a work in progress. There's still bugs popping up everywhere, but I took care of a bunch of them this morning, so it should go pretty smooth. So I'm psyched to to connect about it all. So how are you, man? It's amazing that you're being with your family there. So cool. So great to see that you're having that experience, and then this weekend with your girlfriend. I'm excited for you for your world that you're experiencing right now.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I'm happy. Really happy about it. I'm in a good place for sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so great. That's so great. So anything you want to share before we dive in?
No, I'm excited for what you're gonna show me. I think I'm pretty sure what you're gonna show me is gonna be really impressive. You've really been dedicating your time to it, and it's getting more refined. It's getting more refined every time I see it, and that's what really counts. That you keep making it better. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for seeing that and recognizing that. And it is, an evolutionary process, in so many ways. And there's it, like I've found that the solution isn't just like everything you imagine, like you have to sway with what happens, right? What the reaction is and adjust. And every step is an adjustment to what the world's feedback is, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm in every conversation, it's like that. And I'm coming up with new ways to describe things to people. And so again, I'm excited for you to be a reflection and give your feedback and ask your questions and all of that. So I think the best place to start is to have start to do the mind map around whatever topic you want to focus on.
Yeah.
And that, let's start with that because I've refined it even more. I'll just give you, wow, I have to give you a quick catch up about this concept because it is kind of mind blowing the way I've thought about it. So what we're doing now is we're mind mapping our thoughts into this mind map, the areas where once we're putting it out of our head and onto the mind map, then we have the opportunity to categorize it into these areas of life, right? Like family and health and work and whatever. And so then we get to identify what support we're looking for in all of those areas, right? Like we've been talking about. And now that we are, now that we're tagging those areas of support, that we're looking for, then it allows everyone else that's tagging the same thing and looking to support, those types of people. It creates a marketplace basically around that channel, right? Because that's where everyone is tuning into that tag, and that's where everyone's having the conversation around that, and that's where whatever you're looking for is going to find its audience right there. Self-defined essentially, right? So again, the power of this, and then what I'm doing, and this is the thing, is the thought map. I'm getting it down to the idea that we can create as much as we can, and this is the challenge, but I think we can do it, is we create thoughts as like true false statements, essentially break it down to, the branches of, well, I think this about this. Okay, well, if you think that, some people think this and some people think this, which do you think? So you choose this one. And then of this, who, and you just keep breaking it down till it's like a one, fact axiom, essentially, right? And essentially what you're doing is you're digitizing thought and you're categorizing it into all of these, nano tags, basically, so that you're essentially mapping thoughts, ideas, to the level that you have a thought map, and your thought map comes up against an article and you see where the article is different, overlaps. You come up to a person, you see where your thought maps overlap, like as people, and with businesses and everything. And now all of a sudden we're just breaking all of our ideas, everything that we think about, because once it gets systematized, then essentially it is going to be a pretty quick leap to go from just natural language speaking like we are right now, using artificial intelligence to process everything that we're saying and just actually map out all of our thoughts into our thought map. And it's all broken down to like the minute detail. And that's just like the proposed thought map by the AI system, right? Then at times, like, people could flag, I don't think Jared really thinks this about this. His AI map has said that he thinks this, but I don't think that, it was interpreted right. So I think, and so if enough people are saying, hey, I don't think this is alignment with Jared, so then I get to look at that and say, okay, do I agree or not? And then I choose, and then now it's verified by me. So there's a verified thought map that we've adopted and we've looked at. And then there's the AI thought map, that's projecting out into this, more vast world. But again, I'm describing a world where we're living, where thought maps are matching up with thought maps all the time, just to be able to see where are the alignments, where are the differences, how do I want to connect with this person? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds pretty interesting, pretty powerful, and yeah, no, it's pretty crazy.
It is a crazy thought, and it's going to be interesting to see how quickly we can develop something around this. But now that I'm speaking it into existence, we're going to find the people that really have some ideas about this and start to get the world experts figuring out how to make this work.
Yeah, the only thing that comes to my mind is, amazing things, of course, but then I also think of what are the implications of having thought maps of people, and just to think of that, what are the implications that will generate, and what ethical conversations you could have to make sure that this is used in the proper way. Because one thing is to share, but the other thing is that people actually know your thoughts. And having that map is basically giving your thoughts to the world, and how is that information going to be used, right? And I'm just curious, right? We complain about Facebook having all our data, giving our data away to people. Like, how is this not going to become something like that, right? I know that's not your intention, but if it grows, like, how do you make sure that someone doesn't just buy you out and use all that information to, I mean, it's just, what are the implications? That's what I'm asking you, right?
Yeah, no, I totally appreciate you going in those directions. So the first thing I'm going to say for context, as I always do, is I'm just going to give you my best thought, but that's why I'm opening up those questions to the world leaders. Let's have the top people on the planet hosting a conversation around this with people like you and others giving input at town halls and whatever it takes to have the world have the conversation around what you're saying, to have, you know, some world level, top level system that addresses that for this. And that's the answer for every part of this, right? So that's the ultimate answer. But I'll just tell you from my personal feeling, the way that I'm tending to feel right now, and I haven't really totally thought it through, but I think what we're going to do, at least to begin with, is first of all the information that everybody gives into the system is totally opt-in. So everybody knows that, you know, whatever they're doing in the system is what they're doing out in public, basically, you know. And the idea of this system is to collect all of that data so that we can help support people at the individual level. This is actually more of like a concierge service where we know who you are and we work with you individually to support you in being able to be your fullest, you know, divine self. And that's, and it's not, and everything, basically, again, the way that I'm seeing it right now, people choose what information they want to make public. And when they make that public, then they have access to everyone else who made that information public. So that's the incentive for you to opt into that piece of information, because now you can see what the whole world looks like with that information as well. It's like you're
all the info without you putting your info.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
you can't. Yeah, you can't see it unless you opt in and you just are a participant in that system.
Yeah, that's very smart. That way, yeah, I like that. Okay. And is there like a minimum amount of, not data, because like what if you have people that are just like putting fake info? How do you vet that, right? Like just so they can get access to the information. Like that's just another question I make, right?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're asking these questions because people have these questions. So that, again, we're verifying users of the system. I think we're going to do it via credit card to begin with, and then we'll have more sophisticated means in the future. But I think the easy sophistication is people have to have at least $1 charge on their credit card every month to know that there's a real person behind the card, basically, right? And that
subscription, that's good. It's not fully free like Facebook, but there's a subscription. Okay. And
the idea we're asking people to give a minimum, well, it's a suggested of at least $25 a month for an individual. And if people want to give less, they can give less, whatever they want to give. But the idea is we're working to create a system where people ought to be able to get a whole lot more value out of the system than that. And the idea is we're asking people to give all the value that they feel it's valuable to them, which I want for people to feel like it's hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars every month, that it's worth it, right? For them to have this system to do all of this. So it'll be kind of in that vein, you know, is that I'm again, at least 25 a month individually is the suggested, and at least $50 a month is the business suggested. And if you are giving at least 25 a month, then you can start having a business presence. And again, you don't have to be giving the at least $50 a month, but if you are now like a full paying individual member, now you can also have a business account. And then the idea is, again, we'd like them to pay another $75 or another $50 a month in the beginning, I think, for the business account, but they can pay less if they want. Again, essentially, the way that I see it is anybody that wants to pay less than what the minimum suggested is, that it's kind of like a cry for help, like I can't figure out how to get value out of all of this, right? Because it seems like it's so easy for anybody to organize their lives in a thought map, even at the rudimentary way we're doing it right now, and break it down into the, you know, content management system that I'm going to show you. So, you know, again, to me, it's more a conversation of like, not only see how valuable this is for you personally, but see how valuable this is for the world as we all support it at a high level, as we all create a high level win-win with Uniting for Action, right? Like we're teaching everybody to create the high level win-wins with everybody, right? To really want to support this engine that is driving society towards going from previously completely disorganized to now completely organized, where we have our whole society down to the bits and bytes to be able to computationally figure out anything. And that's the thing also, to answer your question before about like people having access to like the thoughts and that sort of thing. That's the thing, is that we're giving people the opportunity to create their own app, right? Like we talked about before, like you take the time to collect all this information and gather whatever, and now you've created an app within the system that people are subscribing to you for the work that you've done to manipulate the data, right? So the data is all available there, and then we'll see how the developers, but you get the idea. Again, it's all an operating system for all of us to do everything we want within a new win-win-win world.
Yeah, I like the idea that it's not free, and that you're also not charging a specific, there's a scale, right? I like that. I like that, minimum is $1 per month. So then that way you can verify people are real. I mean, you could have fake people still pay it, right? But at least they have to make more thinking of how they're gonna get that money, where they're gonna get that money from, etc. And so you can, track people back through their banks, and yeah, for sure. Yeah, it sounds good, man. So far I'm liking it. I think the ethical conversation is really huge. And I know a lot of universities and just coders in general like talk about ethics while they're building code, right? When they're building an application or whatever, because there's a lot of that involved.
I think it is very important. I think it is, that we do want to get like the universities involved in that as soon as we can. Having worked with the students, I've had the experience that there's so much to be gained from the university community in terms of driving society forward. There's really so much untapped potential there, essentially.
Yeah.
So again, that's another area we're going to be able to unlock, and I think they'll be able to help drive those conversations, right? Because a group of students organized across the country that are in a channel looking for experts, the experts are going to want to show up and be a part of that conversation, right?
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. So cool. All right. Are you ready to dive in?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I might need to move my car in a little bit, so we can just pause it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I created this new one. Let me show you what it looks like, just to show you how easy it is at the moment to sign up. Hold on. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess I can use my info at. So this is it at the moment, and it's it'll get more sophisticated, but not a lot. So login, username, password, login, forgot username, password, no account, sign up for free. So in this case, now you don't have an account, so you're going to sign up for free. So join now. So do you have the ability to check your email that you're going to give me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what email do you want to use?
Emiliano. Espinosa.
Now that I'm thinking about, well, let's try it. Go ahead.
Espinosa. 2006 at Gmail.
Okay, I know you haven't read the terms of use and privacy policy yet. So just to let you know too, these are going to change pretty quickly, because these I wrote 2 years ago before a lot of this new stuff was incorporated. So
Okay.
These really are going to have to get updated pretty soon, but they're very technical and thorough if you want to look at them later.
Okay.
Are you good to agreeing to them now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll
Could you
get the
pause the recording real quick? I'm gonna move the car.
okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So now I forgot where we left off now that we were talking about all that stuff. Yeah, I had sent you the email. You're gonna click on it. I'm gonna think if that's gonna allow me. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see whether I can operate it from here once you click on it there.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, you know what? You didn't record a username and password yet. So let me get a username and password from you and give me a password that you'll change later. That isn't anything sensitive or anything.
Just put my name, Emiliano123.
So what do you want for your username?
Oh, just put Emiliano.
Emiliano. Did you already click on the link? Because
Oh, no, let me do that.
now that I think about it, this might, if you don't click on the link yet, if you can wait, because I think we want to log you in first here. So what's your password?
Just put
Oh, you said Emiliano123. I'm sorry. Emiliano. Okay, so all right, now that you're logged in, oh, so it probably didn't send you the email yet, even, I'm sorry. So now it sent you the email, and now when you click it. So yeah, if you want to read what it says here, and give me any feedback on that if you want.
let's see. Oh, come on.
You want to check your email and see if you got it?
That's what I'm doing, but I haven't gotten it.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're able to check your email while I'm still seeing you on Zoom. That's impressive.
You're still seeing me?
Yeah.
It used to not be the case.
It was not the case just a few moments ago. It was cutting you out when you were looking last time, but not this time.
Weird.
Yeah. And actually, when you get a chance, can you turn the camera sideways too?
Yeah. Now you can't see me?
Now I can't see you.
Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, and like, does it?
So I think the email usually comes within about a minute or a minute and a half is what I've been noticing.
Okay.
Sometimes sooner. I've seen it come in seconds, but I've seen it as much as like a minute and a half, but I don't think it should be more than that.
Okay, I'm just refreshing.
Okay, no worries. We can, let me think. No, I think it's going to be best if you click on it first. So we can just talk while we're waiting.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna check spam too, just in case.
yeah, that's a good idea. I hope it didn't go there. That would be bad.
Right.
There, now that you mentioned, there is something I need to check to see if the DNS servers are still set right, because that could affect the deliverability.
I still haven't gotten it, so we can just talk.
Still
I'll
hasn't
check it.
come in.
I'll check in a minute.
Okay. Okay. Let me. Yeah. So let me give you an idea. We're going to do the mind map, but let me tell you how I've structured the system. I can actually show you using mine while we're talking.
Okay.
So let me go back. So the these are the channels actually. Let me come to the profile. Yeah, check out the channels, man. You'll see that soon. So here, here is my content, okay? And so I built a tree structure. I actually got this third-party tree structure where you can click on the arrows and expand it. So that's a theme, and then that's a theme under the theme. You can have as many nested themes as you want. You can have unlimited themes if you have subtopics. Then when you get down to the page level, then you get, you know, what the page is here, offer to friends. And then I have these different sections, how we systematize. You actually saw this page, right? This is the page that I sent you. So you've got the page, and then you have the sections. And then within the sections, you have the concepts. And so the concepts are the horizontal bars of information on the content page. I'm going to show you that in a minute.
So this is the actual mind map?
This is what we are going to turn the mind map into. And we will be able to programmatically do this, as we talked about with that other mind map system that you used before.
Yeah.
So once we get the programmers, then we can build the mind map, and it'll automatically build this structure for us. So won't that be awesome?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So basically it'll create the pages on the fly from the mind map down to the concept level. And then we just have to go into the page and add our video and add our text and add our whatever, but the whole structure is there already.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it gets down to the concept, and then under the concept, you can even have, you know, support that you're looking for, right? So just as an example, I'll click on the concept here. Because I'm logged in, and because I'm, well, so what it does is it jumps you to the page, and then it jumps you to the concept. It actually scrolled, as you can see, right to the concept that I clicked on. And because I'm the administrator, I can actually, you know, work with the concept right here. I can scroll up through this concept, and I can get to the section. So this is the section we're in, how we systematize manifesting your reality. And then again, I can admin the section right there. I go all the way up to the top, and I can be the page admin for the offer to friends. Then what I did was I created a summary, a header section for all of the pages. And this gets created programmatically from all of the information on the page. So this is all the sections with all the concepts on the page. So you just click on it, and it just zooms you down to that concept. And then, you know, same thing with the sections. So it just hyperlinks you down the page to the different sections.
Are you clicking? Because it just seems like it's frozen right now.
Oh, your screen is frozen?
Yeah, it just seems like that's what I need, but that's it. I don't see anything else.
You didn't see it scrolling?
Are you moving something right now?
Not right now. What I did was I clicked on one of the concepts. Like, I'll do it again.
The new concept. I just stayed in the list.
Yeah. So what about the list?
You said you clicked on the concept. Did you click on
say that again?
Did you click on that's what I need right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't show me anything else. When you clicked on it, it doesn't show me anything else.
Oh, let me do it again. So I click on that's what I need.
I don't see anything new. I think you're sharing settings, maybe. It just shows me one window, maybe.
Let's stop and let's start again.
All right, now I see it. Now I see that that's what I need.
Oh, you weren't seeing this?
No, I was just seeing the tree structure that you showed me earlier.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
I think it's just because you were sharing just one tab, and so it opened a new tab, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Got it. So here, so this is where, again, this header section is the summary of the information on the page. So it gives you all of the sections on the page and all of the concepts within those sections. And then it also shows you other pages in the same theme, if there are other pages in this theme, because again, where you're getting this information from is part of a theme with more pages. So it gives you that context here. And then it gives you the tags on this page. And I'll show you all of the tags, but that's what gets you into the to the channel. So, and again, and also you can go and see more from me, whoever the author is of this, you can go back to their page. So again, this is the header section for all pages that gets programmatically built from all of the content that's down below. And it's going to get even more sophisticated than that, but you're seeing again where we're taking just, again, pure thought and mapping it into this consistent structure that we're all using that allows us all to play the same game together. You get what I'm saying? What we're doing is we're breaking down bits of information right now into the concept, because again, the thought is the smaller breakdown. You break concepts down into thoughts, and that's where it gets into the minute detail. I'm not even going there right now because that's so technical. So, but we're going there. You know, this is where we're headed. But at this point, just each of these concepts. So here's one concept: summarize, offer to friends. And a concept is very simple. It's the title, it's the text that appears here, and there's none in this one, and then there's the video. And I need to add a couple more options, guys. I need to make the option to make this at least an image, if not a video.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break this down to the most rudimentary piece of information that we can consistently use over and over and over again. And it's like the consistent container that can get plugged in anywhere, right? Because that's the thing, when you go ahead, I forget which one of these, I need to actually display it. I'm gonna have to display it over here and think about that. The tags that these concepts have. So something on this page is tagged with personal productivity, right? So again, that's the tag, now that becomes the channel. So then I just click on personal productivity, and then what I'm going to see is, oh, here is the concept that was tagged with that on that previous page around. So it's within the section, how we systematize manifesting your reality. And then the title is putting your mind into the world. And then over here, you know, it's has the rest of the content of that page of where it came from. So again, it's a summary of where this concept came from, giving it in context. Here it is, putting your mind into the world within this, you know, page, within this section. So again, and created by Jared Krupnick. So this is just the tiny summary that shows up on the channel. And even this is going to change. But what I'm showing you is like all of the things that get tagged with this are going to show up on this channel in this type of format. Like this is a search result that you're looking at right now, one search result. And then as people are consuming this information, as they're going to the content, and then again, so you go back to the content, and now I found it here in the search, and now I'm back on the page where it is and scrolled to right where it is. So now I'm reading the original content, you know, from Jared that I found in the search. Then when I like it, when I rate it, when I say it's interesting, whatever, now that's where we start to get the data that we're collecting around, you know, how effective these things are, right? And that's where we start to have any metric that we want. We can come up with any scale. You know, I like it the most. I hate it the worst. I think, you know, it's most, where is it on the inspiring scale? Where is it on the intelligence scale? Where is it on the persuasive scale? You know, it's like we get to rate all of these things however we want across all these different metrics. And then again, as we do that, it gives us access to how everybody is doing that. And now we start to be able to have querying data to analyze this information that we're looking at, which is most popular amongst our friends, which is most popular amongst MDs, which is most popular amongst, you know, world leaders, you know, amongst my, House of Representatives, you know, whatever cross section of society we want to tune into, you know, where people are at, we're all plugged into the system that provides access to that data instantly.
That's amazing, man. And is the feedback like, you know, like star reviews, like, or you just give like from 1 to 5 inspiring, like someone says 4 or 3, is that feedback public? Like, can you see what people gave you per person, or is it going to be more of like an aggregate
No,
of the
it's
average.
per person. That's the thing. It's always about people saying how they feel about things,
And then showing who they are.
being honest and authentic. Like if you don't want to say it in public, then don't say it. But this is your chance to say publicly what you want to say, basically, right? And we're making up the data of all these people that have all of these things to say about all these things. And you don't have to say anything about what you don't want to, but you got plenty to say about things that you want to. Right. So it's just people being public about what they say and what they think, because they want to influence people the way they think ultimately. And that's where this is like the ultimate influencer tool.
To stop being anonymous on the internet, because that's the thing. Everybody acts like they're anonymous, and especially in platforms where you don't have to show your identity, or you might just put a random profile picture. Nobody knows who you are. So now in this case, like, you know, if you're gonna participate, you have to identify yourself and, you know, so show who you are to make sure that you have any credibility.
It's all living by example, because you're just going to end up being the way that you're being. People are going to tend towards how they are. They're just going to have to come to the reality that the world is going to know who they are. And that's a real big challenge for a lot of people. So there is a lot of support required. You know, a lot of people shudder at the idea of that level of exposure. And I totally understand. I've been preparing myself mentally to start basically being in the Truman Show. Did you see the movie The Truman Show? No, it's with Jim Carrey living in this artificial like bubble environment that he's like the star of the show, but he never knew that he was in a show because it was all actors like pretending to be like the town that he lived in and all of that. It's really, and he didn't realize that he was living inside of a television show until he was like 20 or in his 20s, and then he finally figured it out. It's a very interesting movie, but the bottom line is it's like 24/7 looking at, you know, that's where I'm headed towards, is just having cameras on me 24/7, being an example, because, you know, that's the way that I personally want to live my life. Is that I want to be able to be an example. Any ways that I'm falling down, any ways I can use support, I want support to show up and support me there. I'm open to all of the support. And so I'm showing like the deepest, I've made some videos about some of the deepest, darkest, shameful things I feel right now that I'm about to make public very soon, because again, I feel like as I'm working to really birth, you know, these big ideas into the world, the light that I want on them, I essentially have to shine, you know, on everything else, and just be out there with everything and not say I'm perfect and I have all the answers and I'm a great example for everything. There's a lot of ways you don't want to follow my examples, but let's learn together. You know, I'm on a journey to heal all of those things. I have something so important to share with the world that I can't let all that crap hold me back anymore. I've got to get this out, and I need to just be bare with everything and let everyone, you know, support me finally, you know, as people realize the significance of it. Because as you know, it's been great in idea format, but until there's, you know, a tangible system like you're seeing, it's just an idea, right? But now there's actually something that you can sign up today and start using and start creating results for you and your life. And now, you know, as you do it and your friends see you do it and your girlfriend sees you do it and your sister sees you do it, and they're like, oh, you mean I can start blowing up my life too by using this system? And, you know, it's just a matter of, the system is so compelling because, let me take a quick drink. But I want to finish this thought. The system is so compelling because, what's that?
Are you recording? It doesn't seem like you're recording.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I don't see it on my screen. I don't know why.
Okay. It's showing it on my screen. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. So the reason that it's so compelling is that we cannot be, at least most of us, the vast majority of us, cannot be more organized and effective around the use of our limited resources. We all have limited time. We all have, you know, most of us have limited finances. You know, we all have limited energy and other resources that we have to devote to the world, right? And we have all of these different needs and things, pulling on us, right? We have our family and our loved ones and our community and our world and all of these different places that we have to divide attention. Well, when we put it out into our thought map, right, and it's categorized on this map in the way that others are categorizing it, and you're seeing where all of your stuff is, you get to very intentionally choose how much time, energy, and resources you're flowing to those different support needs. You're defining your support in all these areas. You're defining what your priorities are in terms of the ones that are going to make it into your budget this month, right? You're defining the ones that you're going to spend time with this month, right? But now you're doing it in a very intentional way, and you're doing it in the areas that you're committed to seeing visions through. You're choosing the visions that you are willing to be committed to seeing through, because you don't have time for wasting time that's not going to come to what you want done. So you commit to the visions that you want. You commit to, okay, what are the support needs? We've done this before. This is the manifestation process, right? What are the needs? And we're about to do it with you on your mind map. What are the needs? By the way, how much time do you have until? Because I really.
Yeah, I don't want to spend more than an hour.
Okay, so we got like 10 more minutes.
Yeah. But I'm happy to meet again in next week. I just can't spend more than an hour. I have to go to work.
Yeah, I understand. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time you're taking. So, we'll let's go to your mind map real quick to just put it into the system.
Sure.
And let you see the process of putting it in the system and how simple it is to put it in the system. So let's do that, and that'll be a good way to end up.
Okay.
So
I know we've been talking about a bunch of things. I think everything's useful we've talked about. So
yeah, for sure. I appreciate all the the thoughts that you've had and the questions that you've brought up. And I think do you want to go back to your previous mind map or a new mind map?
The previous mind map was about me moving to Texas or Austin, but that's not. Yeah, I'm not doing that one anymore.
Okay, so let's create a new mind map. All right, so what do you want to call this?
We could call it like Emiliano's path to becoming a coach, or whatever title you want to put. But I wanted to make it about what's gonna take for me to become a business consultant and coach.
That's great.
Yeah, to offer my services and have something solid for people to use. Should I just share and stuff and you just listen, or you want to ask me questions specific?
Yeah, the challenge is the time. So I would just want to listen and just let it all come out, and then kind of figure out how to organize it. And that's the typical process that we'll use somehow, is letting just people like flow and then have it get organized. It's just going to depend on the skill of the person doing processing it live, how much somebody wants to pay to have somebody take the time to edit it up later, right? But basically what I want to do right now is, let's say this is the theme, and I want you to come up with a page within the theme, and then a section within the page, and then a concept within the section. So let's go straight line down, breaking down from where do you go from here.
Okay.
What's a page you'd want to create about on that path?
So I want to be able to, I'm not sure how the page would look like, but I'll just tell you like where I'm being stopped, I guess, or simply just where I get stopped is that, I'll tell you, I'm taking a business consulting and a business coaching consulting certification right now. And so I have everything that's required, all the tools and the strategies and the formats and everything that's required. And it's through Mind Valley. So it's really awesome. And so Now, what I want is to be able to take that and put it into action, right? And start using it, not just like consume the content, know it, and then not use it, right? So I have 4 months that this program lasts. Want to be able to, by the end of the 4 months, to start having, clients, or some, start having at least one client that's paid. And so I think that would be an amazing goal, that I can get at least one client that's paid. And maybe I need to practice with 3 clients, 4 clients before getting that one client, just to make sure that I'm delivering what I want to deliver to the paid client, right? So maybe taking unpaid clients first, and then moving to the paid client.
And maybe doing it, the way that I'm doing it, which is, don't say it's free to those people. It's there's no upfront cost, and you'll just give me whatever value you think that you've gotten from it. And then you get to have a conversation about what value they're getting, and where there might be a gap.
That was not just free. Like, there's value, but you're gonna give me the value that you consider.
You decide afterwards. So that there's no obligation for paying me anything. So we'll have the meeting, and you'll decide afterwards, how valuable you consider this. And then, again, it could be free, which is what you're planning before, but you could get paid a lot if they really value what you've provided, and you've created it in a way that you haven't cut yourself off from that opportunity.
Right. Perfect. Yeah, something like that. So that's what I want. And I don't know exactly how the whole mind map could be put into place. So you tell me, what do you think I should?
Yeah. So, okay. So let me share, and let's just create something. So let's say, what do you want to call those initial 3 that you're going to create that offer with?
Well, I think they could be called beta testers. But
Beta
that's
testers. Okay.
technology, but for now we can just call it beta testers.
Okay, so that's your page. And then on the beta testers page, you can have a section where you're going to talk about identifying prospects.
Right. I definitely want to be able to talk about, who is the right customer, who's the person that I want to coach, or that is, have criterias and qualifications for this person.
Right.
And so it's very defined. Has to be an entrepreneur, has to be someone that is very passionate about what they do. It has to be someone that's committed to what they're doing. I mean, if they're passionate and they're committed, they're probably committed. But and I don't care necessarily if they haven't started, but if they haven't started, that at least they're actively pursuing their vision somehow. Because I don't want them to just be thinking about it and then not taking action. They have to be action takers. So that's kind of like the profile. And I don't want to limit it to a certain amount of money they make, at least right now, just because I'm doing the beta testers. But ultimately, I think I wanna target people that are making a certain amount of money a year, so that way they have the resources to be able to afford my services as well. And I don't know, that could be more than $60,000 a year, for example. And that above that range is who I really cater to, because they can pay the services. And anybody that doesn't make that much and can't afford the services, then it's just I'll have other options for them too. But I want to focus with people that can actually afford them the services.
Got it.
So that's kind of like the client.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good. So I'm gonna just use that action.
We can take a few more minutes, Jared. I don't want you to be so rushed. I mean, this is valuable. I'll if we go a little more longer, let's do another 20 minutes. How's that sound?
Sure. I'm available, so I'm glad you're seeing the value. And that's the thing, is we start to get value so quickly out of the system for anybody, because they start to organize their thoughts, first of all, in a way that most people are not doing at all, right? Who is organizing their thoughts on paper like this, in this way, like for all of their thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a small percentage of our society. So just people starting to look and just deal with the reality of their thoughts on paper, right? And start to make choices about what they're going to be committed to and what they're going to see through, right?
Yeah.
And so this is the first like extreme values of the system, right? So it's like, what are the values and incentives of using the system, where there's like value after value after value, right? Getting the thoughts out of your head. Now having a way to communicate that with the world that you had no interface for before, for all these thoughts. You didn't even have them organized for yourself, let alone share them with anybody. Now that you're sharing them with the world, now you have the opportunity for the whole world to show up to be able to support you in what all of your needs are, right? So again, that's night and day, the difference. Like, if people need an incentive, well, that's it. Like, you get to start having support around all of the things that you really could use support for, that you prioritize, right?
So maybe this video right here can be used for my page, right? Okay, so I need to be
You got it exactly. And that's the thing, is all the time is that we are using, we're creating content. All the time we're creating content. And for those of us that are using our time most valuably possible, the ultimate is that we're only on one particular content once. It gets into the world and we don't have to talk about that again. We've got so many other things that we can spend our time talking about, right?
right.
So it's where we get to build out this encyclopedic content around us. And again, as soon as we get AI kicking in, then it's just like automatically flowing into all these categories. Even with our current technology, all those things can get tagged, right? It's probably going to be just a matter of maybe even a couple months before we have AI that's doing like auto tagging of natural speech video, right?
Right. No, for sure.
And so again, this is where we need to bring in technology, but I'm glad I'm defining it with you now, and then we'll go back, because I want to focus on what you've got there. But you can see I'm excited about this. I'm excited to share some of these concepts with you. The
bouncing board.
What's that?
To be a bouncing board.
Yeah. Well, again, what I'm doing is putting the concepts out into the world, and then certain people get it, and certain people, really get it on a different level. And you're one of those people. And so, and there's not that many. It's like a handful of people out of all of the people that, so again, part of this process is just reaching enough people in society that we're finding like masses of those of us that get it and that are, want to use it and really embrace it and work with each other in this. So again, it's as soon as we start to get any visibility, it's going to go very quickly. And that's where, where we're just racing to do that. So let's go back to yours and let's start to build it. So here, was there anything you wanted to say about that, by the way, before we jump back?
Mm-mm.
I appreciate you, listening to all that. So so we got the theme here, the page here, the section here, and let's say these are different concepts, okay? And then, so what we'll do is, just to be very manual about it, I'm just going to start over here. Now, did you click on the link? Did you ever? Don't even check. I'm going to do it in mine. It's going to be smoother right now. So let's just go and pretend that you're Bruce. I can even go, and I'll do this really quickly. So I'm going to go to my profile to show you, how all of this goes really quickly. I'm going to edit my profile. I'm going to become Emiliano Krupnik. Welcome to the family, brother. And update, and we have a very similar likeness, like twins. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my profile. So again, you switch back and forth between edit, front mode. Now I'm on my profile. So now I'm going to create a new theme. Okay. So right at the bottom, add new theme. So I'm adding the new theme, and then the theme I'm going to add is what I just copied, and I'm going to click add theme. So here it is, Emiliano's path to becoming a business consultant and coach. So now I'm going to click on that theme, and it's going to ask me to insert either a new theme, I told you again, nested themes, or a new page. So now the page is going to be beta testers.
Oh.
And so I'm going to insert a new page. Again, we're doing the manual method now, but you can see how easy it is and how intuitive it is. It's just very, very, simple. And it'll get even more simple. This is my rudimentary, user interface, but it's, it's simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Insert page, edit, delete, or click on it. You have minimal choices. So then we identifying prospects, copy that.
What is identifying concepts? Is that another?
This is the beta testers is the page. And then within the page, we're going to create the section.
Okay, the name of the page, and then this is going to be a section. Okay.
Yeah. So the section were the headers, just to remind you. So to go back to what I was showing you before, the sections are these are all concepts. Each one is a concept. This is the section, the header of the concepts. Okay. So this section then has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 concepts in it.
And what's the name of that page then?
Name of this page is offer to friends.
And so offer to friends would be what in mine?
So offer to friends, this is the page. So for you, it's beta testers is the page.
Okay. So beta testers is the page, identifying prospect is the section.
This is the section, which is one of the headers, and these are different concepts under this section. And that's where we're going to get down to where each one of these is a bit of text, a video clip, and a title. Got it? And that's going to be like your bit of information there that you've broken it down to. So now with identifying prospects, now we go ahead and again, go into that section. Now that we're in that section, we insert a new concept. So I want to create, we're going to leave this as all like the text. So let's create a title out of this. So criteria and qualifications. I'm going to leave it at that, criteria and qualifications as the title. And then we'll make the rest of the text. So now again, that's the concept that I'm adding. I'm adding criteria and qualifications. I'll even capitalize the qualifications. So we're adding that concept. So now that we're added that concept, now we can go ahead and we can add the content into that concept. So we've already got the title, criteria and qualifications. Now, again, we encourage video, right? So this is where you want to paste your YouTube link. So let's just go and pick, what I was listening to as an example. And so again, use any link and then any YouTube link. Oops. And then the content. And so in this case, what we'll do is, again, we'll use the more extended content that you provided. And then down here, I even added this third-party widget that lets you, dress it up and do other things, to it, make it bold, add pictures. It creates HTML is what this does, basically. Okay. So it's another little bonus of that. And then you save it. And now that we're saving it, now here is like a mini preview of the title and the text and the video. And then you can just preview the content. And now it's taking you to the page where it is. And again, scrolling right down to it. So here is your page, beta testers. It's got your summary on this page, identifying prospects with criteria and qualifications. It's in this theme, more from Emiliano Krupnik. And you've got your section, your title of your concept, your text, and your video. And you're already creating your whole concept, your whole content.
That's amazing. I love it, man. It's really cool.
And then again, as we tag this, let's go and do this really quickly. So again, as we tag this, so let's go back to the concept admin.
Yeah.
And actually we need to go to the section. because it's on the section that you're seeing the concepts, and this is where we can add tags. So this is where we go ahead and actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to add support first so that we'll get them both, and then we'll add the tags. So we add support. Let me show you the functionality for the support. Oh, bummer. Okay, I got to fix that page. I can do it in a couple minutes, but let's do the other part first. So the support lets you automated build the support. So actually, you know what? I can do that in less than a minute, I think. Can I fix that error?
Yep.
So members, and it'll let you see the work that I'm doing every day. So this is a cool behind the scenes for you.
But I can't see right now. Whatever you see. Oh, I see that. Okay.
So member support. I'm looking for the title of the page, member support.asp. That's the page that's having the issue. I know what the issue is because I've been updating pages. So I'm just going to update that page the same way. I just didn't get to that one.
Okay,
so,
got you.
Member support. So you see over here on the right, I'm looking through all my pages to find member support. So since I'm updating, I always make a backup. So this is going to be member support working 3 that I'm going to back it up to first, and then I'm going to change it. So member support, here it is. So I'm going to make sure I open it in this pane because I have what I'm going to change it to in the other pane. So I'm going to now save it. So again, this is what I'm doing all day long, this type of work that you're seeing. Working 3. And, but really technical, it's usually not just simple changes like this. It's usually, doing all the programming that's in this, but I'll spare you those details now. But what I'm doing here is taking and replacing this new file that I created, member start action. There's a whole bunch of action files that are from before, and I'm leaving that all intact so that my previous system can get reconstructed at some point can get reconstructed at some point. For now, I'm just going ahead and replacing it with this new code that's going to make it work. And the last thing is just to add the member header. This is the header that you've been seeing now is included now. So this goes here. And then I got to get rid of, nope, everything's good. So now it should work. Oh, now that I think about it, there might be some code that could break it a different way. If it breaks it a different way, I won't go there now, but hopefully this will work. Okay, cool. So let's see.
I appreciate you kind of giving me some explanation that I can.
Boom! Yes, I am the master. So now, cool. So now you can add a new support request. So again, let me remind we're on criteria and qualifications. So you can say, let's title this. So let's call this prospective client. Is that a good title, or you want to call it something different?
What for?
So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially write a want ad for your clients to show up. You're going to say, I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for this, and this is what I'm looking for.
Oh, is that where I'm putting my request, like what I would like?
Yeah, and what you're offering in exchange for it.
Okay, yeah, so we could call it like looking for looking for an entrepreneur that wants to be coached, or looking for someone that wants to be coached. I don't know.
Okay, so let's just, for the moment, let's just say coachee.
Okay.
Or what do you want to call that person? Person to be coached, or this is the person that's going to be reading it. So when they show up, what is the word they want to be called?
Yeah, for now you can call it coachee. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add this support request. So again, this is the automation that I brought to the system now. So now that you're in it, you can add other support requests to the same concept. It's getting attached to this one concept, this support request. And now we're going to click on coachee, and now we're going to add, I apologize, but it'll be quick. Member support details. All right. So members, so up, conveniently, it's right here. I don't think I even need to make a backup. Let's just do it. So members start. These two files. Add the header. Okay. I think that should do it. I think that gets us to the end of the road in terms of the functionality we need. I don't think we have a more detailed page than this.
And I can schedule another call, and then we can go dive right into this.
Yeah.
I know we talked a lot of context and caught up in other things.
Boom! It works. Isn't that so great? I have to say it is such a victory when something works, because sometimes it takes hours to figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
It's terrible, some of those rabbit holes I have to go down sometimes. So anyways, and again, this is kind of sophisticated in that I set it up this way with the 3 boxes. So again, you can really craft the page with a lot of different functionality. But in the end, you're looking for a coachee. You know, we can take the 5 minutes that you talked about it and put that clip on YouTube and then add that link. In the meantime, we'll just, again, take this sample link to just demonstrate the functionality. So, you know, here again, this is what you're seeking. This is what you're offering. And this is what you're offering to referrals. Okay. So that's the content that you're putting in, you're entering in these 3 boxes right now. So again, just to let you see something there. Actually, I want to do it as plain text. Seeking, offering, and offering for referrals. Okay, so so again, title, YouTube link where you're describing it, then what you're seeking, what you're offering, and what you're offering to referrals. Very straightforward and simple, right? And then you hit save, and then boom, it's saved. So support successfully edited, preview the content. Now we go to the page again, and now we're at the concept where I hope does it work. What's going on? Didn't work exactly. Let's see what's going on.
The CSS got a little tweaked.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? And it does, yeah, the CSS has gotten tweaked.
But it's fine, I get it, no problem.
But it's really weird that it is. Let me see if we can look at it in the other browser window and if it makes a difference. That's funky. Because I can't think of what I did that would do that. That's really weird. I'm gonna have to look at that. All right, so I'll check that out later. You can see if you can get past the CSS. So again, here is the section. Here's our title. Here's our content. Here's right. So this was our concept, right? And then under that concept, we added the support. So here's the video that we put there, and then here is the seeking support. Could you or someone you know offer support? Don't turn away. So this is actually kind of like a billboard area. I'm just doing like a don't turn away, don't let the opportunity pass by, seize the moment, be a champion for someone that'll come back to you. So really just a way to try to encourage people that if they can support in some way to do it, or if they can refer support to do it. So the
okay, got it.
And now I see there's actually the code did break in the middle somehow, because so here it gives the automatic get that. So here's what's being sought, seeking, and then offering, and then for referrals is somehow lost at the moment.
Okay, but it would be there.
It would be here. That's what's broken. So under the Here's the text for each one. And then for this one, it has the opportunity to get in touch. I don't know if this is going to work with the broken page, but we'll see. And then under this, so if you are interested in this offer, you can get in touch. And then under this one, the referral, if you have someone to referral, you can click there for that as well. Okay. Now, both of these buttons begin an automated process. So I click on get in touch. Okay, here's an error happening. So what it does when it works is it has, it already knows who it's sending it to. It's sending it to the author of this page, of this content, Emiliano.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not revealing Emiliano's email address to the person that's essentially applying for the job, if you want to look at it in the most analogous terms, right? Like you've posted a job, like this is what you're offering for someone to fulfill that job. And then here is, you know, them saying, hey, I'm interested in that, right? So in your case, you're saying, I'm willing to take on, you know, these people with these sorts of things. And what I'm going to offer is I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you this. And if you're interested, then go ahead and say, you know, I'm interested. And this is where, again, they're not having access to your contact information, just to be clear about that so people understand the privacy aspect. What they're doing is they're filling out a form where they're giving their contact information to you. They know who's asking. They're giving you their contact information to reply to them. What's that?
Then I would be the one reaching out to them afterward, like responding to their message.
Exactly. And we'll have a whole like internal messaging system. It's just that I don't have the time to build that. We're going to have programmers building that. So the whole sophisticated internal messaging will be available coming soon. But in the meantime, we're just using the workaround of email and basically saying, you know, give Emiliano your phone number, your email or whatever, or if you want to create a burner, you know, Gmail account or whatever to use, just, you know, have a way for you guys to communicate, just because we're not hosting that at the moment, right? We got to build up our level of technology to host that whole conversation. So you guys get in touch, and then, you know, that's where, again, we're going to coach people through the agreement process. We're also going to build the whole agreement system, as you and I talked about before, right? But again, to just not skip over this part, the deal is that, again, you can imagine where in many cases, people will be having tons of people responding, right? Especially like an influencer or whatever. So again, this becomes a whole automated system, right? Because essentially people are putting all their data in. You can put whatever. You're
just going to get leads, basically.
Exactly. You
it's
can
like
get
Indeed, you post a job, you get leads from people that are looking for a job.
Exactly. So you're developing all of these leads, and then you're doing it in a way where you're collecting data willingly from people that they want to give you about whatever you're asking for, however you're qualifying them, right?
If someone's referring someone, how does that work? Someone is going to tell you, hey, I have a referral.
It becomes an agreement situation. I'm glad you're asking, because again, this is what we don't have in place yet, and we need to evolve to as quickly as we can. This is part of what we need the funding for, and we need the organization for, but we need to have agreements, right? The agreement has to be in place first, the like agreed to, you know, DocuSign, electronically signed agreement between the person that's offering the commission, the referral commission, and the person showing up to claim it, because they're going to have that agreement in place before they name the person that they're referring.
Got it.
Okay. So they have a rock solid agreement. We agree to this. Okay, now that we've agreed to this, here's my person.
That's where you might want to use the whole blockchain technology and the smart contracts.
Absolutely. I absolutely want all kinds of blockchain smart contract people to show up as quickly as possible. So again, as quickly as we can, that 10-second segment finds its way onto that page. It's the only thing there now, but at least there's some, yes, we need blockchain, and then get added to. You've mentioned other things about blockchain, other people have as well. So again, there's a whole blockchain arm of Uniting for Action that'll start to get built out, so that anybody that showing up has anything around it has something to say and has something to contribute. And that's how we build that part of the not only Uniting for Action world, but just our whole infrastructure, right? These are all the channels. So that's the last piece. So I apologize. I know it's the end of the 20 minutes now, but let me do this last piece within like a minute or two here. So this is where we're going to now go back if we can, let's work at it this way. So we'll go back. Oh, I'm posting a shared. Maybe that's.
And I do feel like this is, this is helpful for me finally. Like it's not just a, an hypothetical example or something that, this is real. For me, this is real. So I think this is helpful for you in the sense that you're gonna have real case studies.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that. And to just show you this last part, and this is the key to it all, is here's your content, right? Your criteria and questions with your support. And now we're just going to add tags to it. And now that we add tags to it, now it's going to go ahead and end up on the channels. So these are all of the channels, that exist here so far. I've been, working on the Ukraine part. So we're just going to go ahead and say that this is part of, let's see. Do you want to put it under one of these existing ones? Personal empowerment, personal productivity. I think actually personal empowerment is where I'm going to go with this. Is there a sub tag under personal empowerment that you want to put something? Maybe like coaching or?
Yeah, coaching is fine. Consulting.
Okay. So now I'm going to add that. I think this is going to work. I didn't test this. Hopefully this is going to work. So you're adding consulting or coaching, or what do you want to say?
Consulting.
Okay, consulting. Now we're adding that tag. So now you've created your own internal channel. So that hasn't yet been, so here's consulting, and now you've tagged this information under consulting. I haven't worked out all the details of this, so it may not be functioning exactly as I'm describing it, but now what's going to happen is you've built your own personal channel off of like the main combined branch that everybody is using. And now that you have a personal channel, you can build out your own personal channels. And it essentially is getting submitted for review. And this is the part that I really have to do a lot of work around. I'm not really sure how we're going to build out the tree most effectively. That's really one of the biggest challenges, but building out.
You're probably gonna have to see, okay, they're having all, like there's a correlation between the sub channels. So once you see enough correlation, then you put into the general channel maybe. So because otherwise you will have a ton of different tags in your channel. You don't want that either.
No, you got it. You have to, it has to be really organized. Here we can see just, I know it's hard to see. Let me do this and see if you can see it. There it is. Consulting and personal empowerment. So these are the tags on the page that we just created. So let's go and click on consulting. And now we're going to the consulting channel, and here is the information that you tagged. And here's how, again, it's showing up when the summary and the video, and here's your page and your section and your content and who it was created by. And so again, it's these search results that we're getting that then we can start to recommend, process all the ways that we process, that this can become an intelligently sorted system, and then add all of the reputation scoring that goes with people that have degrees and our professors and our experts, and all the credentialed ways that we create, all the scoring of the reputation system and all the publications and all the, and it's all based on crowdsourcing the information. So all of the critiques and all of the whatever are all crowdsourced. It doesn't come from Uniting for Action. We don't, censor information or check for misinformation. Uniting for Action doesn't do that. What we create is the world to show up to say how this should be handled, and the world to, provide their input.
All you're in charge of is verifying that people are real, not just robots.
Exactly.
And that they're if they're real, that they also post content about themselves, and it's not just anonymous. They could be real, but they don't have a picture, they don't have a video, they don't have their own stuff, and so they're posting about everybody else's, but they're not posting about themselves. So they're so that, I think that's more gonna be your role, is to verifying that people are posting are being vulnerable themselves as well, in a way. You're right. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, to give you my personal take on it, and everybody can have a take on it, but my personal take is that we're creating healing for people, because what's happened is we're so disconnected from our feelings and our reactions. We're having all of this psychological energy discord from the ways that we are personally responsible for things that are happening in our world, and that we're doing far less than we know we could, both individually and collectively. So we're dealing with a lot of, on top of all of our personal traumas and childhood traumas and everything, right? So we're all dealing with stuff that we don't want people to see, right? And we're all dealing with stuff that we want to keep hidden from the world. And so, what I feel like is happening is this is representing a way for us to start to really evolve in that support structure. It's a way for us to start to really use this technology to support all of us and all of the areas that we can use support to be able to be the highest version of ourselves, right? So I feel like we're just going to be gently meeting people wherever they're at in their world in a way that works for them, and gradually helping incentivize people to be operating at a higher and higher level of awareness, consciousness, authenticity, all of these things that allow people to be in their fullest divine expression as a human.
like it, man. Yeah, Mind Valley has a very interesting idea concept, very similar to yours, where they want to pair coaches and consultants with the people, and people are just saying like what they need. So now they're making this pairing process, so that you don't just get any random coach, you actually get a coach that can offer what you need. So
That's
yeah,
great. It sounds like Mind Valley should be a strategic partner with us as quickly as possible, because we actually can use that on a mass scale. I had a meeting. I'm sorry, I know we're over the 20 minutes. Do you want me to say this, or do you have to run?
yeah, this could be the last thing.
Okay. So I had a meeting last night with Pat Finn. I don't know if you would know him, but he is a former, you know him? He's a former,
Entrepreneur.
he isn't an entrepreneur, but he's a coach. He's a former Landmark Forum leader up until
Okay.
just a couple of years ago. And Laura Duxta introduced me to Pat because she's been working with Pat. And so I attended a session, and then last night we had a session where we met for like an hour. And the 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 the, the Pat has a structure right now where he is, working with mastermind groups of 12 people, and he's in the process of training others to work with other groups. But there's a real tangible limit on the scale of, and individuals that he can serve with like a lot of attention from Uniting for Action right now, right? That's my conversation with him is I need to have with him now that we process is that, if he wants to, project into a broader sphere, and I told him this, to have like self-service content and subscription content and all kinds of ways that you can serve a broader audience, then we're providing, the opportunity for that. But he's not in that space right now, right? But it sounds like Mind Valley could potentially absorb a lot of demand, into their system if they have a lot of coaches or whoever signed up already. So, but again, that's where, we, as soon as people influx into the system, we want to have a support infrastructure that can handle the tidal wave, right? And that is ready to support all of the people that are ready to show up and live in their highest version of themselves.
Yeah, Mind Valley is up to big things. They're training a ton of coaches. They're getting them certified, and then they're inputting into their platform. They already have about 100,000 subscribers, members, and so those 100,000 members can utilize the coaches that they're building up. And so the coaching certification they offer is certified by the ICC, which is the International Coaching Association, and one of in Europe. So they're legit. And so yeah, no, they have big vision. So yeah, I think there's that connection there, and I don't know when is the right time to approach them or whatever, but just, yeah, for sure. What you're saying is right.
Yeah, and that's where, again, this is where our path of how this evolves is one conversation at a time, one thought at a time, right? That thought about Mind Valley and potentially setting up a partnership with them, if that doesn't get captured and doesn't get put in the proper page in the proper section, then no one can support that reality from happening, right? But when it sits somewhere and somebody searches on a channel and finds it on the channel and they say, oh, I know so-and-so at Mind Valley, or
I know the CEO or the owner of Mind Valley. I can put you two in touch so you can have a conversation, right? And then you're offering a compensation for that, right? Like there's all this. Okay, I get it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Exactly. You know what? I apologize. I didn't say it before and I have to say it. So I know you wanted to end on that, but let me end on this. I've broken it down to the machine we're building a machine with the least number of parts. And this is actually, I can't believe I just didn't say this already. This is a reality generating machine. So that's what we're really focusing on creating, is a reality generating machine. And what the reality generating machine does at the simplest level is it uses 3 moving parts to make the whole thing work. And the one moving part is the person that's seeking support, right? So this is what I need. This is what I'm offering to get that, which attracts the number 2, the supporter, right? So, okay, I'm going to take your offer. I'm going to, help you with the support. But there's the third part that we're deeply integrating, which is the connector, which is the person that shows up to make sure the two get together and facilitates the two getting together, the one that's earning the commission from doing the referral. And again, we're incentivizing people to do referrals everywhere. So every person is playing one of these 3 roles all the time. And and we're playing all 3 of them at different times for different people, right? But we're all playing that role in a system where we only need those 3 moving parts to be able to create a connection and create a result out of that person, that connection right there, right?
Awesome. So it's the analogy I see it is like, you're here, place A, here's place B. You two need to get together. You need the bridge. So the bridge is a connector, right? So you could see it that way too.
Yes, you could. That's perfect. And that way, again, people are being the bridge, being the connector. So again, it gets us all focused on what role are we playing in every interaction with everyone about everything, right?
You're giving more value to the bridge than normally they would get in the first place, because a lot of times the bridges just, do it for the sake of their heart because they want to contribute, but they don't get benefited from them making those contributions. So now what you're doing really is bringing value to the bridge. That's the value proposition that I see in what you're doing.
That's
unique.
That's a great way of looking at it and a great way of putting it, because the people that get that, again, and a lot, like you said, and other people have said that, Angie said this, other people have said this, I've just done all of this for many years out of the goodness of my heart. If I had gotten paid 10% of all of the business I created for people, I'd have a lot of money now, right? So
now with the technology is possible with smart contracts. Like that's what you need to work on, smart contracts. If you do the DocuSign at first, maybe that's cool, but that takes a long time. So the smart contracts are set up so that you don't have to, like, it's just there, and so it's all built. Yeah, yeah, you should definitely look into it.
I hear you. I want to, and it's where, again, it's not as much me looking into it as taking the time to put this piece on that page where it needs to go, because then it can start to attract other thoughts, and then I can add other thoughts to that page and other people can. And so that's the necessary, and that's, you get what I'm saying about the necessary work. People say, you need to look into that, or you need to look into that. It's no, I need to attract the solution for that. And here's how I'm going to attract it, because you just spoke it into existence, and I'm going to take the time to take that clip and put it somewhere. And that's going to create that reality now. And that's how we use this reality creation machine.
That's amazing, bro. Congrats. That's really cool. I'm very excited to be part of your vision and contribute, and see it come through.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate it. So great to connect with you. So great to have this experience with you, and I'm excited to continue. So definitely let me know when you're available next. Enjoy your weekend with your girlfriend. It's great seeing your family. Give my love to your dad. It's great seeing him. It's definitely been a while. I think the last time I saw him was at a drum circle, and that was, I think now 2000, no, not that far, 2018, 2018, I think. So it's been a while.
But yeah, definitely. I'll pass along. I did share with both of them the message you sent me. So
Nice. Thank
and next week we can have another call so we can go deeper into the mind map, because I know we just did one thing, and I think that we could probably do another 3 or 4 things there.
Yeah, exactly. And, again, in the meantime, we're going to set you up using the system so you can just start to go in and just start to, see
Okay.
how it works. Yeah, you can start to build things out, and we can go into deeper levels, when we're together. And
Okay.
I'll make this video available so you can pull out whatever clips you want for your purposes. I'll work on, cutting up for some of my purposes as well. And if I see anything, I'll let you know. But it's the way that we now are creating our reality. It's through speaking it into video existence, chopping it up, putting it into all of these themes, pages, sections, content, eventually, or concepts, and eventually thoughts. And this is how we're starting to interact with the world in a whole new way, and starting to allow everything that's in our head to get into a place where it can start to generate its own reality.
That's great, brother. Love it.
Yeah, awesome, bro. Great to be with you. I appreciate you. I love you, and look forward to connecting again soon.
Awesome, man. Sounds good.
All right, see ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.